What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn / Kelowna Crocodiles whenever I get my logo. Um, I will be moving to the new team name for this league. This is the UPBA Season 2. Once the logo is finished, then I can transition everything over. So, this is the UPBA Season 2, and this is the first game of the UPBA Season 2. We're taking on my friend Rudiger 67 and his Cleveland Escavaliers. He has a team consisting of Naganadel, Rotom-Wash, Aerodactyl, Serena, Dusclops, Flareon, Megaseptile, Scizor, Florges, Alolan Persian, and Mesprit. Alolan Persian being his Super Saiyan Z user, I'm assuming for Z Parting Shot shenanigans, and Naganadel and Aerodactyl being his offensive Z Crystal users. Naganadel, huge threat, but I prepped extensively for it, so it's not going to do anything to my team. Rotom-Wash is something that I was expecting to come. Aerodactyl I was not expecting for various reasons, but I think I just didn't think that it had a great matchup against things like Bronzong, excuse me, and Greninja. Serena, I was expecting Dusclops, which he did not bring. I was not expecting Flareon, and I honestly don't know how many times we'll actually see him bring Flareon. I was expecting Scizor, Florges, Alolan Persian, and I was not expecting Mesprit. Yeah, so nothing really caught me off guard here. I was happy to not see Megaseptile and happy to not see Dusclops, because Megaseptile outsped my entire team, and Dusclops could be a pain in the ass, and I had to run a Mew set just to take on Dusclops, which is ridiculous because it's a ghost type. Notably, he only brought one form of priority and Scizor with Bullet Punch potentially. He has no hazard setting potential, so I don't have to worry about that. And I wasn't worried because I wasn't expecting Aerodactyl and Mesprit to come, so I didn't pack any removal this week either. He does have 4 different removal options. I didn't talk about this in my team builder, but Serena gets Rapid Spin. So he brought Rotom that could potentially defog, Scizor that could potentially defog, Florges that could potentially defog, and Serena that could potentially Rapid Spin. And he brought his 4 times weakness to Fire and Scizor, so that's kind of what's going on there. If you have not seen my team builder, you should check that out because I love talking, and I really love talking. I decided not to bring a few things. I know Rudiger was shocked that I didn't bring the Greninja. I felt that I didn't want to have to invest max speed to be able to outspeed a Naganadel and have to run a Scarf as well because Megaseptile just demolishes Greninja if I didn't have a Scarf. So I didn't think that it was worth it to me to run that when Rotom-Wash can switch into the water type attacks if I was going for that, or Serena. Like, water doesn't have a good matchup against his team, and Dark doesn't have the best matchup against his team either, so I didn't feel that the stab options were good enough, and I'd have to run a coverage move, which maybe doesn't OHKO. Excuse me. Well, I'd have to be running max speed, so that's kind of what I was in a pickle with, and I just felt that the combination of Rotom-Wash, Serena, and Florges kind of just walled Greninja too hard, so I just didn't bring it. I didn't bring it. I didn't think it was a good matchup. Decidueye, again, I didn't need the removal, and Decidueye wasn't fantastic just because it couldn't deal enough damage this match, I didn't think. Primeape, same problem. He's got a very bulky team that's not weak to fighting pretty much at all, so I didn't bring Primeape. Ambipom was a thought, but I needed a little bit of a bulkier team to take on his bulk, and Ambipom is a very frail Pokemon, and Wailord had just a horrific matchup. Wailord had just a horrific matchup, unfortunately, so I didn't bring that. Yeah, so excuse me, he has 2 potential Z users. He could be bringing Z Naganadel or Z Alolan Persian. We're also bringing 2, but let's talk about my team real quick here. We're bringing specially defensive Bronzong with rocks. We're bringing a fairly standard Nasty Plot 3 attack Mega Houndoom. We're bringing a Scarf Thundurus-Therian. We're bringing Assault Vest standard Goodra. We're bringing a very, very standard Life Orb SD Mimikyu, and we're bringing a very nifty Mew set that I'm proud of. Which I'm not going to necessarily talk about, but you should go watch the Team Builder because it's a cool Mew set. Alright, getting into the match here, I'm going to lead with my Mew because it's got a good matchup against most of the stuff on his team. I think he's going to lead with A, Scizor, B, Rotom-Wash, or C, Alolan Persian, and Serena is like a backup lead if none of those look good against my team. I think getting Volt Switch momentum off with Rotom is really cool, but he sees the Thundurus, so he might not do that. U-turn momentum with Scizor is really good, and Scizor kind of beats the team that I brought, so he might lead with that. And he actually opts to lead with a Alolan Persian here. It's my Mew. I'm not sure what to think. I thought he was maybe just going to Parting Shot out or something. So I actually clicked U-turn, but we'll see here that he fakes out. That shows no investment. And now he doesn't see leftovers on me, so I'm curious about what he's thinking, because he's not seeing leftovers on my Mew. That fake out does dick all for damage. It's not invested whatsoever. It's not physically invested. Yeah, so that was interesting to me. I think it's... Excuse me, I think I calced that it was a minus nature. I actually can't remember the calc for that one, but it's definitely not invested whatsoever. Yeah, he's not touching my Mew. So I'm going to click U-turn this turn and get some momentum myself as he goes for the taunt. So we see that he's faster, which means he's running investment because I'm running enough speed on my Mew to outrun Rotom-Wash. Am I? No, I'm running enough speed on my Mew to outrun Serena, which still means that he's running investment, I believe, on the Alolan Persian. Some speed investment. So I get the U-turn out on there. If I'd gone for Will-O-Wisp, that could have been bad because he taunted me, but I get the momentum and I deal a sizable chunk of damage to him. I'm sure he's still really curious because I didn't show a minus nature there because I'm actually hardy nature. I'm a neutral natured Mew to get the most out of all of my stats this week. And I can just go into Thundurus because he doesn't have an electric resist, so he has to switch something in on my Volt Switch here. Thunderbolt does kill this, so I was thinking to myself that Naganadel made sense for him to switch into to resist the Thunderbolt, or Serena to resist the Thunderbolt. He's just going to make the middle ground play here, and he's going to double into Florges, which is fine, because it's obviously a special wall. That takes a chunk, though, and I go into my Bronzong, which is my way to deal with his Florges. Florges was a huge problem for my team. I really had no good way to deal with it except with Bronzong. Heavy Slam is going to decimate this thing, though, by the way. But now he's threatened, okay? He's threatened by the Bronzong. If I'm Heavy Slam, which I am, then I'm going to destroy this Florges right now. So I'm going to go for Rocks, because he has no way of removing them on his team. Well, he doesn't have a way of getting his own hazards up, and so if he wastes a turn defogging or spinning, that's all the more better for me. Honestly, that's like just perfect. Sorry, I'm just adjusting. It's kind of loud in my ears. There we go. If he's spending a turn defogging, then that's just better for me. So I'm going to go for Stealth Rocks here, as he actually doubles into Scizor, which is maybe his way to deal with this. I'm not entirely sure why he did. Well, he probably just can't touch my Bronzong with Florges, but he can't really touch Bronzong with his entire team, to be honest. He doesn't have anything that can touch this. When I was building, I saw that, and I'm like, wow, Bronzong is so good. U-turn is going to do a lot to me if I'm specially defensive, which I am. But if I'm physically defensive Bronzong right now, this Scizor could be taking like an HP fire to the face or something. I don't know. He's kind of a little bit ballsy with this play, I think. But it ends up working out in his favor, kind of, because I've got the rocks up, and I don't know what he wants to do here. I calced a banded U-turn, and it does a lot to my Mew, but I'm just going to go into my Mew right now. No, I'm not. I'm going in Thundurus. Sorry, my bad. Banded anything does nothing to my Thundurus, except for a fucking U-turn crit. What the hell? Jeez. And it's Adamant Life Orb, too, which blows my mind. Okay, that just did so much damage to me. It's a resisted hit, and it, like, bought me in the face with that crit U-turn. So Thundurus' usefulness is now extremely diminished. Yeah, and he's actually going to U-turn into Naganadel. He took a while to figure out what he wanted to go into there, and I'm actually Scarf Thundurus, so if he's not Scarf Naganadel, then I'm outspeeding this thing and killing it with a Psychic. The roll is 90 to something else, so I just needed Rocks up to get it in range of Psychic. So I'm actually going to go for the Psychic here, as he reveals that he's Scarfed and U-turns on my Thundurus. Probably hoping I would switch into something else, but now he has to tank the hit with Serena, which turns out to be Assault Vest. So, all in all, not the best turn of events for me. He actually played it the best that he possibly could, but I think he got a little bit scared after Naganadel U-turned out and I stayed in, because I could have fired off a huge hit. Thundurus is very scary to his team as well, so that Psychic does quite a bit, and yeah. My play now is to go to Mimikyu. I think he's going to Rapid Spin on me, especially because he shows the Assault Vest. I assume that Assault Vest Serena will run Rapid Spin because it normally does. So I'm going to go to my Mimikyu to Spin Block him here if he wants to Rapid Spin. And he actually just goes for the U-turn to break my Disguise. Not the biggest deal. I didn't need my Disguise for anything, maybe for the Scizor, which he now brings in. So I have to double out now on the Scizor, but it's taking Rocks damage, so I'm going to go to my Mew as he's actually going to click Knockoff. Perfect time for the Colbur Berry to activate. Another Knockoff will not kill me. He has to go for a U-turn, and I'm faster than him right now. A U-turn after he's burned won't do shit, so I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here as he's actually going to double into his Rotom. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do is Will-O-Wisp. And then I think I just U-turn on his face. Next turn here. Yep. Oh, no, I knock off his leftovers to get rid of that thing's longevity. We're pretty weak now, so the Hydro Pump takes us down. I go into Goodra here to tank whatever special hit he wants to go for. That Shadow Ball does nothing, but he gets the Spadef drop, man. Like, come on. I've been haxed by the crit and the Spadef drop so far this game. Luckily, we didn't miss the Will-O-Wisp because that could have been bad. Getting the residual damage on the Rotom is always nice. But he basically just cancels out my Assault Vest. Honestly, the Spadef drop did not matter too much because of Goodra's natural Spadef bulk. But he gets rid of the Assault Vest essentially by getting that Spadef drop until I switch out. I'm going to click Dragon Tail here thinking that he's going to want to Volt Switch on me. And he should be faster naturally. He actually just ends up going for the Thunder Wave, which I think is kind of weird because my Goodra is not really threatening him in any way. And I bring out the Florges, of course, which is like the worst possible thing that I could have brought out on his team. If Scizor comes out, I can just Flamethrower it or whatever, right? Alolan Persian, I just Flamethrower. Anything else, I just Dragon Pulse. But of course, I had to bring out the Florges. So that's just bad luck on my end. I don't know what to say about that. Oh, by the way, from that Shadow Ball damage and from the Hydro Pump damage, I found out that Rotom is actually specially invested. At least a little bit is specially invested. I think it's max special attack, max HP or something. But he's not defensively invested because I'm actually... I think I'm Modest Dragon Tail. So that should not have been doing that much. But anyways, besides the point, Florges, I mean, even a Moonblast, like, okay, I'm specially defensive, right? So Moonblast isn't going to do too much, and I can just Sludge Bomb this thing. So that's what I'm going to do, is he's actually going to throw up a Wish here. I go for the Sludge Bomb. It does a solid chunk of damage to that thing. Goodra's fairly powerful. Florges is like about the same size kind of Spadef wall as Goodra is. I'm just going to go for another Sludge Bomb here as he's actually going to Moonblast me. And fucking crit me again! Damn it! That crit matters so much more than the other crit did because Goodra was designed to be able to take on Naganadel as well. At a later point, I could actually tank a Dragon Pulse really well, especially because we found out that he's Scarf. Naganadel cannot touch this Goodra. Like, it's really hard for Naganadel to even touch the Goodra. And so that's really fucking bad. That's actually really bad that he crit me there. And I don't get the poison on the Sludge Bomb, which is what I was hoping for. I do get a higher roll, but I don't get the poison. I'm not sure how the mechanic works if the poison goes off before the Wish comes in, because the Leftovers comes in after the Wish, but that's just really bad for me. I'm going to go into my Bronzong here to tank this Moonblast as he just goes for it again. I don't care about his Leftovers recovery. He's in range of my Heavy Slam now, which is going to destroy this thing. As he throws up a Wish, again, I don't care. He's just going to die to my Heavy Slam. So, first kill out of the way is Bronzong picking off the Florges there as Scizor comes out again. I'm prepared to sack off my Mew at this point, which is what I do, or I'm going to do as I go into my Mew, and he Roosts. So that's actually really bad, because I assumed that he was going to have the Roost and only run U-turn, Bullet Punch, and Knockoff because we'd seen those three at this point, I believe, or we hadn't seen Bullet Punch yet, but you really don't run Scizor without Bullet Punch, especially against a Mimikyu. So, yeah, I expected the Roost when I saw Life Orb, and now we actually see it, which scares me greatly. I'm going to click Will-O-Wisp here in case he wants to not click Bullet Punch. But he does click Bullet Punch and kills me, so that's fine. He's taking the Life Orb recoil, which is overall better for me. If I can pressure him to not get a Roost off. I think I go into my Mega Houndoom here. Yeah, I go into Houndoom here, and I'm just going to get a Mega off and Fire Blast. I knew Rotom was his switch in here, and Fire Blast actually killed it after Rocks, as you can see. So I was perfectly fine with clicking that. He goes into Alolan Persian here. I don't know what Alolan Persian wants to do to me, but I can just go into Mimikyu here to tank the Fake Out, which I think is what's coming out here, is the Fake Out. I'm a Ghost type, obviously, so I'm not going to take that very well. Now, I'm predicting him to go into Scizor here. Scizor is his way to deal with Mimikyu, and that's my prediction. I don't care how he gets there, if he parting shots or doubles or U-turns or whatever. I think he's going into Scizor. There's no reason for him to go into Serena because it's a special wall and it's not going to want to take a hit from Mimikyu when it can't recover. Now that we've seen the Assault Vest, there's no way that thing has Synthesis, so that's fine with me. Naganadel doesn't want to take a hit either because it's his sweeper. It's his late game sweeper. So he wants to keep it as healthy as possible. So I'm going to click Shadow Claw as he actually parting shots out. I don't necessarily care that I'm -1 attack. because the Shadow Claw still does quite a bit of damage to the Scizor there. Now, I don't want to take this Bullet Punch, so I'm going to go into my Goodra to sack my Goodra here. Goodra is completely worthless at this point as he U-turns, which is even better for me. He takes the Life Orb recoil, and he has to come in on Rocks again. It's absolutely perfect. As he goes back into Alolan Persian here, which is taking more Rocks damage, and I can just go back into my Mimikyu, and we're back at the same process, except his Scizor is more weakened, and a Shadow Sneak will take it out. This turn, I am clicking Play Rough because I'm going to say to myself, I said to myself, I predicted last time, I think he might stay in this time, potentially. Play Rough will kill this thing, and if he does Parting Shot into Scizor, Rocks plus Play Rough into a Shadow Sneak will kill that thing. So, he actually told me that he misclicked this turn, and he accidentally clicks Dark Pulse over Parting Shot. It didn't matter whatsoever because of the scenario that I just outlined, but Play Rough ends up taking out the Alolan Persian. So Mimikyu, the kill leader from last season, grabbing its first kill of this season in the first match. Pretty solid start. Naganadel comes out here and takes some Rocks damage, and I can go safely into my Bronzong. Bronzong hard walls this Naganadel. There's no way around it. Like, he can't touch my Bronzong because I ran Heat Proof. HP Ground is his best way to hit my Bronzong, and he can't risk that because he still doesn't know if I'm Heat Proof or Levitate. And he won't be able to find out because he didn't bring Flareon. So it's a lose-lose situation for him attacking my Bronzong here, as I'm just going to go into my Bronzong. We see the Dark Pulse, which is, it's fine. It's a mid-ground play, but now this gives me free reign to go into Houndoom on his next Dark Pulse because he's locked into it now. I know that he's locked into it, and Houndoom covers both of the doubles. So Houndoom comes in, takes the Dark Pulse like a champ, and I can actually just click Nasty Plot in this thing's base. Once I click Nasty Plot, I can kill the Serena at +2 with anything, especially at the range that it's at, and Scizor is just going to die to a Dark Pulse. So he actually goes into Serena, takes the Rocks damage as I set up the Nasty Plot. This is actually like relatively scary, okay? So I'd calced it, and a +2 Dark Pulse does not kill max HP, max SpDef, plus SpDef Nature, Assault Vest Serena, which is, again, by far the worst case scenario, but I had to calculate anyways just to be sure. Sludge Bomb does. I almost forgot that I even carried Sludge Bomb on this thing for the Florges. Sludge Bomb does. Very safe Sludge Bomb kill. Houndoom picking up its second kill of the game. I don't have to risk Fire Blast on the Scizor here, as he's just going to click Bullet Punch, weaken himself even more for my Dark Pulse. It doesn't matter to me. And then Naganadel is going to come out here, again, take more Rocks damage, putting in range of, I want to say Bronzong Psychic didn't OHKO it until this point. But now he has to lock himself into a move that can kill Bronzong, Houndoom, and Mimikyu, okay? So he can't click a Poison move because Bronzong just wins the game then. He can't click a Dragon move, or sorry, he can't click a Dark move, Dark Pulse, because Houndoom walls it. And he can't click a Dragon move because Mimikyu is immune. So that's sort of his play, and he has to pick a move here. He ends up going for the Sludge Wave as I switch into Bronzong here, and we're just going to pick up the game 4-0. I'm not sure if that was the play. I think you could, well, he was probably just trying to attack what was in front of him, but I think you could have predicted me and gone for the Dark Pulse, just because it was the best middle ground play that you're actually doing damage to my team with. I might have tried to go into Thundurus and claim a kill there if he did Dark Pulse instead, like sack something off and go into Thundurus maybe, or if he'd gone for Dark Pulse, I probably would have attacked with Houndoom. Like, I just would have gone back into Houndoom and attacked it, but this is what we ended up with. Bronzong's immune, and a Psychic is just going to pick this thing off, as I'm completely immune to a Scar Sludge Wave. So, we pick up the first win of the season against Rudiger 67 and the Cleveland Escavaliers. We pick up the win 4-0. Pretty solid match. I'm really mad. I'm not really mad, but I'm a little bit upset that I got hacked so hard, but we did end up picking up the win pretty handily there. I think we brought the right team. I know he told me afterwards that he was not expecting Mega Houndoom to come, but I looked at his team and I was like, I need something to deal with Scizor. And I don't have another fire type besides Mega Houndoom, so that's kind of why, that was the main reason why I brought Mega Houndoom. And then besides that, Mega Houndoom could deal with Dusclops really well. It dealt with Mesprit really well. I thought that was really important to me. And it dealt with Serena really well as well. So all of those things together, I think, made me want to bring Mega Houndoom, especially if he actually ended up bringing Flareon for my Bronzong. Then I could have had a Flash Fire switch in as well. I just gone for a Fire type move because Rotom-Wash doesn't want to take it at that point. So that was kind of the idea there. He told me that he was really scared of Greninja and really scared of Skill Link, Scarf, Ambipom. both of those would have been kind of cool brings. I think skilling Ambipom is like completely hard rolled by Dusclops though, which is the main reason why I didn't bring it. Scizor can also tank Ambipom's hits. Aerodactyl can tank Ambipom's hits. Fur Coat, Alolan Persian tanks Ambipom's hits really well, so I didn't see that it was a good matchup for it. And Scarf Greninja, again, like I said earlier, Rotom-Wash, Florges, and Naganadel all kind of deal with it, and Scizor on top of that deals with it as well. So that was kind of my reasoning there. Just if he's watching this, then he can get my thoughts. So yeah, next week we take on Johnny and the Colorado Reggie Rockies. He's got a weird team, but there are some big threats on that team. So look out for that, and I will catch you guys next time.